Ask any motorist what their pet hate is and the answer is likely to include petrol prices and inconsiderate behaviour of fellow drivers. But more recently, the likelihood is that people will mention the state of British roads. Following 2 harsh winters, the nation's roads are riddled with craters and potholes, leading one warranty company to brand the UK's roads as third world, with the nation's motorists shelling out up to £3 million a day in repair work. I'm in Liverpool on Croxteth Drive and Greenbank Drive, and these are 2 unadopted roads that have some of the worst potholes in the country. And as you can see behind me, drivers are having such problems simply navigating this roads because of the terrible state of the roads here. Unadopted roads are often among the worst maintained roads in the country because, unlike the majority of roads that fall within their boundaries, local councils are under no obligation to maintain them. There are thought to be over 40,000 unadopted roads in the UK. Traditionally, they comprise private roads and would historically have been repaired by the occupants of the houses that lived on the roads. But many unadopted roads are not private and are vital links in the city's transport map. This one provides access to Liverpool's Sefton Park Cricket Club, a large school down the road, and to the park itself. It's also heavily used during the summer. Now, after a second winter, the road is virtually impassable and is creating huge problems for the people who use it.
It's become a nightmare really, the last few years especially, and I think it got really worse over the winter period, obviously with the frost. You have to stop your car and try and work out a route. It's dangerous really. Everyone who drives around here moans about it, and as I say, I got a punctured tyre driving around it, and I've spoken, especially taxi drivers who drive around here regularly, have said that they've had cars damaged and exhaust coming off and all that sort of thing. So yeah, I think it's a really serious problem.
According to warranty provider Warranty Direct, the average repair bill is £312 for suspension work and £277 on wheels and tyres for cars damaged by potholes. And while councils are theoretically liable for compensation claims, the number of payouts from local authorities has plummeted over recent years. We spoke to garage owner Paul Tufts, who told us he's seen pothole-related damage rocket in recent years. So Paul, you've been telling me you've seen a lot of people coming in with pothole-related damage.
In the last 18 months or 2 years or so, the increase in the workshop here has literally gone up 200%. We could go months here without, say, fitting a coil spring, but now we're fitting so many a week. And of course, all the local taxi drivers, when they bring in their cars, they say, oh, you know, the money we're spending on suspension maintenance is just ridiculous, you know.
Can you give us a sense of what happens when you physically drive over a pothole? What physically happens to a car in that situation?
What happens is, as the road wheel and tyre goes down into the pothole, then the lower suspension arm can actually hit the road surface and distort it, bend it. The coil spring then also can over-travel and twist and break.
We asked Paul to look at my car to see if there was any evidence of such damage.
This bottom suspension arm, which is also known as a wishbone, could go down into the pothole and hit itself on the road surface. And this can then obviously be distorted or damaged, which will then throw out tracking, wheel alignment, steering geometry problems. Also, the inside wall of the tyre and the tyre rim can also be damaged and affected.
Are there any telltale signs while driving? Excessive play in the steering wheel or anything like that?
Steering bias, where the car's pulling over to one side. You've started to hear clunks and bangs. Your steering wheel is no longer straight the way it used to be, it's over to one side. So all these things are sort of clues that there's something wrong.
So I'm driving down Greenbank Road now. I'm attempting to navigate my way down without damaging my car too much. I'm in my Ford Puma, which has a very stiff suspension at the best of times. But frankly, this road is so pitted, it's so scarred and cratered, it's covered in potholes that even in an S-Class it would be virtually intolerable down here. And I don't really know what this is going to be doing to my tracking, alignment and suspension as well, and tyres, because clearly the car's taking a bit of a battering. If you had to drive down here on a regular basis, there's absolutely no doubt in my mind that you would seriously damage your car after a certain amount of time. But of course, it's not just motorists who are affected by pitted roads. Julian Taylor was thrown from his bike on this very road after he rode it over a pothole.
I was just cycling down the road, hit the first pothole because it was very dark. Tried to brake, obviously before the pothole, but it was far too late. Went straight over my handlebars and then landed in another pothole. Well, immediately you obviously have a flat front tyre and very often a flat rear tyre, so you need to completely replace your inner tube, probably your tyre as well. The rim will get damaged, so you'll have to replace the rim. If it's an extreme case, the spokes will break and then you'll have a broken front fork. Going over the handlebars, you tend to scratch and destroy your front brakes, let alone the fact that you tend to hit the ground at the speed that you were at.
We're now going into Croxteth Drive and work has started on re-tarmacking the road, but it's only for a very short amount of time. So this bit's fine, back onto a rough bit and then back onto a smooth bit again. So what's happening down here is all of these various sections of road should be maintained by the residents because the road is unadopted, but that's not happening at the moment. So we're now coming onto a bit that hasn't been repaired. Residents here say that they've paid the council money, but the council is tied up in legalities and doesn't want to do the work. So this is literally to the point where you've got to stop in your tracks and navigate around individual potholes, because some of these potholes look to me to be 6 to 8 inches deep. They're absolutely huge as well. There's no avoiding them at points. And at this bit, the road is so rutted, as you can see, Puma's struggling badly to get over it. It's like a farm track. Liverpool City Council now says that it may be able to repair some of these roads, and work is underway to repair some of the road surfaces. But it has come at a cost to local residents and users of the roads. We spoke to one local resident who told us that local bureaucracy is to blame for the lack of progress.
The situation with the potholes is diabolical. It has been for many months now. Every association has put in money to have this road repaired. Now, they started 3 weeks ago and we were delighted, thinking that they were going to do the whole lot. They did one section and then stopped. When we went up as tenants and people who live here to inquire why they'd stopped, they said because the money had run out. So there was uproar then. But then apparently it transpires that Liverpool City Council have supposedly taken responsibility for that section up there. The monies that we have all put in to Liverpool City Council in order for them to do it are still in abeyance because they're waiting for legal papers to be signed at Liverpool City Council office.
A spokesman for Liverpool City Council acknowledged the problems facing the city's motorists, but said that the likelihood of these unadopted roads being repaired in the near future was highly unlikely. With UK roads in their worst state for decades and local authorities facing enormous spending cuts, the situation seems unlikely to improve anytime soon. Although the Chancellor recently announced an additional £100 million to go towards repairing the nation's roads, motoring groups are calling for a more sustained long-term approach to maintaining UK byways, with the potential for such poor road surfaces to not just damage cars but actually pose a danger to motorists, cyclists and pedestrians alike. Potholes are the hot button issue that everyone can agree on. What no one can agree on is how to deal with them.